Hello?
Hey, is this Sean?
Yeah.
Sean, it's Heathen from Lubbock. How are you doing, buddy?
Hey, man. How you doing? I'm good.
I'm great, man. I hadn't seen you since last time you swung through town with Jay, and you guys were on your Mercedes truck. Jay from Hurt, and you guys played at the Freaky Tiki, man. It's been a while.
That's right. That was fun. That was a good one.
That was a good one, and that was one of those things. You do a lot of, basically, let's just get right into it. You do a lot of solo tours just by
Yeah.
yourself, but you got the full band with you this time. How do you decide? Is that just you just go, I want to go out and do an acoustic thing by myself? I want to bring the whole guys. How do you pick which one you're going to do?
It just depends on everybody's lives, what's going on with schedules and what makes the most sense at
So
that moment.
you give the other guys in the band a little bit of a leeway, I guess, to actually have lives and not just live day to day trying to bust out the road, right?
Yeah, of course, man. It's, getting this as old as we are, you got other things going on, so everything's got to be looked at and weighed out and organized and planned.
Well, you are one hell of a road dog. Do you have a family sitting at home waiting for you, or are you just a free man saying, screw it, I'm going to live as much as I can right now?
No, I actually just got married in June to my girlfriend of over 11 years. So, I do have a family back home of sorts, and being on the road definitely is stressful when it comes to that area of your life. But at the same time, it's my job. It's the only thing I really know how to do.
Well, since she stuck with you for 11 years, then obviously I think she's going to be okay with it. It's not something new you're going to drop on her, right?
Yeah, exactly. She's been with me since 2005. So she's used to it.
Now, you guys, Smile Empty Soul, I didn't even realize, and I was checking out your Wikipedia page just because, it's smart to do a little research. You guys have, 7 albums total released by now?
Yeah, we have 6 full-length albums, and then this last April we released an EP DVD. So we do have seven releases out.
You guys kind of fly under the radar with some of those. You had to jump some labels. How hard was that when you had, your original label, you went for your second release and they didn't want to release it, so you jumped ship? How hard is it every time you got to find a new label that will actually do something good for the band?
Oh, it's a nightmare, man. It's been quite a ride. Almost every record we've released has been on a different label, so it's really hard to find stability, and it's really hard to find a label that's going to really do a good job for you. In fact, we've really yet to find that since our very first record deal, and that's definitely played a role in us staying, right where we are as far as the size of our band. It's really tough to get these random indie labels to put the kind of money behind your marketing campaign that has to be put behind it in order to be truly successful.
Yeah, the indies, unfortunately, obviously they're indie because they don't have the bank account that, the big labels do. I'm wondering, because I know a bunch of guys that are in a similar position as you. Jay from Hurt, Spider from Power Man. You've got Terry and the guys in Alien Ant Farm. I know a bunch of guys that are on the basic level as you. We should form a collective and just all form a label with enough of a bankroll to do that for the artist, but it's all artists who are reaping the rewards. What do you think?
I'm down. You provide the investors, and I'm in.
Oh crap! There's that.
Yeah, that's the only problem, and I even, for the last full-length Smile record that we released in 2013 called Chemicals, we even formed our own label. We had, a friend of ours actually invested in us, a good buddy, and we had a good distribution stream, and we took a single to radio and had publicity and did the whole thing, and we were just shocked at the end of the day by how much money you really need to run a successful radio campaign today. It's such a large amount of money, and album sales are so low that it's basically a scenario where you have to spend so much money to get your song into the top 10 at radio that there's no way that you'll ever recoup it in the sales that causes.
Right. The return just isn't there on the investment, huh?
Yeah, it's just not. So it's very discouraging, and basically in today's era, you just have to be willing to like flush money to be successful in this industry.
Well, that's funny because, for people that are on the outside, I mean, I'm in radio, and I'm going to talk smack about radio people because that's crap that it costs that much money for a good band to get a good song played. But for people on the outside, it almost seems like, well, you can just put your songs on iTunes. You can shoot a cheap little video, put it up or a lyric video on YouTube, and you can do a lot of this on a real shoestring budget. But I guess there's just no way of actually making money that way. Is there? I mean, do you know? Have you guys been working at that side?
Oh yeah, I mean, we're a very DIY type band. We've been doing that for years, releasing our own music through iTunes and making our own music videos with friends and people that we know that are good with editing and directing. And you can do it like that. It's just the exposure isn't there. People's attention spans are so short these days. You really have to be put in front of their faces for them to recognize what you're doing. And the only way to really do that is to spend huge dollars. So you could do what we've been doing for years and years, which is just we have our fans that are locked in that follow us closely, and we know that they're going to care when we release music or do a tour. But it's reaching those other people that aren't hardcores, that are more just drifting with the wind with whatever is being put in front of their faces. You can't get at those people without spending tons of money.
Yeah, I guess that makes perfect sense. I mean, no one's going to go out there and just look for a band that they aren't already aware of and see what they're doing. So, yeah, I guess it comes down to at least getting some name recognition, huh?
Yeah, luckily that is one thing that we have is back in the early 2000s, a major label spent millions of dollars on our brand name and, promoted the shit out of us. And we had success at radio and on video channels and did a lot of big tours and all that stuff. So we still have a name recognition brand name. People have heard of our band, but a lot of people that may consider themselves Smile Empty Soul fans and would be interested in buying our music if they knew it existed weren't aware that we released our last 5 records or whatever. You know what I mean? Because it hasn't been put in front of their faces.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm one of the guys at radio who normally has hundreds of CDs sent every week, and I wasn't aware that you'd released that many albums because without a distribution network, it's not even getting to us,
Yeah, I mean, we've even had, for most of our records, we've had radio campaigns of some size running. So the fact that they haven't even all gotten to you guys just shows you the state of it all,
Yeah, how hard it can be just to even be a small band out on the road, man. Well, you know what? You're coming through town. You're out there doing it. You're doing it seems like 6-7 months out of the year every year. Are you holding up physically? I mean, are you about ready to pack it in, or do you think you still have a few more in you?
Well, there's definitely a few more in there. It's just you learn to really enjoy those times in between them. When the older you get, you go home and you're just like, yes, my bed, my shower, my bathroom, my food, all the things that the comforts of home become so precious, and you just got to enjoy the hell out of them and recharge your batteries when you are home.
Well, speaking of comforts of home, are you still driving that Mercedes van that you had with you and Jay?
Yep, that's ours, and that's what we do all our touring in.
So at least you have that does feel like home. You're not always in different buses for every tour.
That's true. There's a consistency with that, and that does help to give us some sort of, every time we're not building a new system of how our day is going to go and how we're going to get by. Like it's a routine that we know so well, and the first day of tour, you just pop right back into it, go right back to your bunk, make your bed, and throw some fridge in the some food in the fridge, and just get right back into your routine.
Well, hey, man, it's been great to talk to you. When you're here in town at Backstage Live in just a few days, I'll come out and I'll knock on the Mercedes door, and we'll hang out and we'll say hi again.
That sounds great, man.